Aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate the gift of your time. Today, Governor Josh Green will sign several bills that will aid Hawaii's future agricultural endeavors. Facilitated questions and answers will follow promptly after remarks conclude, and the formal bill signing will commence shortly thereafter. Without further ado, it is my privilege to introduce Governor Josh Green.
Aloha. We're going to dive right in today. Big day across the nation. So we're going to be talking about ag bills today, biosecurity and food systems. It's a great pleasure to sign these pieces of legislation because agriculture is a huge part of our state, our history, and our economy. People often focus almost exclusively on tourism. It's a mistake to do that. That, of course, is central to who we are, but so is indigenous agriculture, from cash crops to our planting of so many different foodstuffs across our state. We're going to talk about how this is becoming central to who we are, and so I'm grateful to see leaders from the Senate and the House. Okay, so our transition is not simple. Of course, it's a lot of investment, but it serves many essential purposes. We don't, as you know, grow enough food for our people, and that's been a long-standing challenge. We're trying to change that. We're also trying to bring in more revenue so we diversify this economy. Let's dive right in on the several bills that we're going to sign together. First, Senate Bill 2079. This bill enables the state, which is the state's department which does the plant and animal declaration forms, to be digitized and distributed that way. We're trying to come up into modern times. People often hate that form, so we're trying to fix it. And I think that is very important to move forward. Currently, it's distributed, of course, on the airplanes, only hard copies. Travelers complain they don't have the ability to do it quickly. We want to make it easier to come into our state and to do this work. So this legislation allows travelers to submit their completed declaration form electronically. There's a lot of reasons to have these additional electronic capabilities, and we're going to see that benefit us going forward. So it's a big deal, and I'm glad that the LG was fighting for this too. DBED, tourism, everyone's working together. So that was excellent. The next bill, Senate Bill 3365, which is also up here. What it does is it allows the Department of Ag to certify things like wood chips and compost and filter stocks. Again, helps them with productivity, and it allows them to do this in a way that is more streamlined. And that's very important too. We have to be very thoughtful about invasive species, because as we know, when invasive species get out of control, it can devastate crops and our agricultural industries and economies badly. So treating plants and pests properly, this is important, and that's what this bill does. So again, incredible credit to all of our House and Senate members, leadership who did this. Another couple bills we have. Let's go to the next slide. House Bill 2298 and 2278. So finally, and I'm going to single out my buddies from Kona, okay? So finally, over the years, we've been talking about labeling coffee. And I know for some across the state and perhaps the world, they don't see necessarily the huge significance of this. But people put their reputations on the line when they grow Kona coffee, when they grow Ka'u coffee, when they market what is very special to the Big Island. And we've been wrestling with this thing since I was first sworn in 2004, which is to say people dilute what is special about Kona coffee, and we're using the label indiscriminately. And it didn't really, I guess it didn't play well across our communities, because our farmers deserve to get credit for what is very special. It is one of our signature crops in our state. And so now we will give people a little time to ramp up till July 1st, 2027, which is just around the corner, believe me, to make sure that we have to label appropriately. And you have to have 51% Kona coffee if you want to call it out that way. This geographic origin is very serious. People are going to get a lot of better coffee, I can tell you that. And we are going to have a better reputation for it. It's going to help us economically. It's helping our farmers. And I really think it's just a matter of honesty. So I was really just excited that the legislature did this year. So congratulations. This bill also helps retailers just across the board with their ready-to-drink beverages and so on. This is a lot of money that comes into our state if we do it right, and we should respect our farmers. So that's what this is about. And then I have one more bill, House Bill 2278. This bill also works on the industry that is central to our state. In this particular case, also pretty significant for Big Island. This is macadamia nuts. And again, a lot of people might not see the huge relevance of this, but the more we respect our local farmers and our local industries, the more people hold Hawaii in high regard. And so it was great to see a compromise. This helps with disclosure and branding, but really protecting our own products. And so I want to thank the legislature. You've done extraordinary work on many, many different issue areas this year. But it was great also to see progress that had eluded us for a long time in agriculture. And I know that this is just the beginning of a lot of bills that will strengthen our agricultural industry. So thanks go to these guys, and I will turn the table over to them, turn this podium over to them, because they have even more details about this good work. Aloha.
At this time, I would like to introduce Senator Tim Richards, Vice Chair of the Senate Committee on Agriculture and Environment.
Well, aloha, everyone. To be here today, it's all about agriculture. In our state, we have about a $95 billion economy, and 0.8% comes from agriculture, which is larger than the national statistic, which is 0.7% of our national economy coming from there. What the governor has just talked about is strengthening agriculture going forward. These 4 bills that he articulated talks about strengthening agriculture overall. We have a problem with food security in our state. By strengthening each facet of agriculture, we strengthen agriculture as a whole. We can actually start taking the step towards that food self-reliance, food security. A lot of people, a lot of politicians talk about supporting agriculture. We are seeing this in action now. I have to thank my colleagues for helping us get this across the finish line, both in the Senate and in the House. And Governor, thank you so much for offering the support. Because what this does right now in our state, our food insecurity is something we can't be proud about. In our county, Big Island, we have households 40% that are food insecure. If we strengthen agriculture overall, we'll start taking steps towards eliminating that. So again, from the Senate, thank you very much. To all my colleagues, thank you very much. Governor, thank you.
Mahalo, Senator Richards. Now we would like to welcome Representative Cedric Gates, Chair of the House Committee on Agriculture and Food Systems.
Hello, Mike Kako. What a special occasion. We are here to celebrate agriculture and all of the advocates and farmers and workers who make agriculture in Hawaii possible. Today wouldn't be possible without the support of our legislators, Senator Gabbard as Chair of Agriculture, Vice Chair Richards, my Vice Chair Kirsten Kahaloa. We have the DOA Chair Sharon Hurd. All of them and our advocates really made today possible, and I want to just say give you guys a round of applause for all your efforts. I have only a couple minutes to speak, so I'll make this short and sweet. One of these bills that I want to highlight is SB 2079. With government, we get called out for not changing with the times, and I think this is a true sign that we are adapting to the ever-changing environment that we are living in. So the same way I'm reading my talking points will now be the same way people will be able to send in their forms, which we all know we don't like to do. With HB 2298, the Hawaii coffee labeling, that has been something that my vice chair has made a priority, given she represents the Big Island, and we had a lot of hurdles getting through that bill. So it's really good to be here today and having the governor sign it with his stamp of approval. Being a former Big Island legislator as well, that's a really big step in the right direction for our coffee farmers to make sure that they are represented the right way, especially when these products are being sent across the road. The last bill I'll highlight, which was also a heavy lift for the legislature this year, is HB 2278 relating to McNuts. That has been something that we've been talking about for over decades. And as the chair of agriculture, I really wanted to try to push through a lot of the long-standing challenges that we've seen in the industry. And I'm so happy that we were able to bring all of the advocates, the industry, as well as the legislators to the table to really come up with a plan that will fit the needs of everyone and create a win-win solution. I think with this bill, we've done that. And I'm so proud of all the hard work that everyone put in on this measure. With that being said, mahalo to everyone again for making today possible. I look forward to seeing these bills implemented by our administration. And thank you, Governor, for allowing us to be here today. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Representative Gates. And now at this time, please welcome Nathan Trump, General Manager at Island Harvest.
Aloha. And on behalf of all the macadamia nut farmers across the state, we want to mahalo our elected representatives and governor for enacting this important piece of legislation that addresses misleading labeling practices in Hawaii's macadamia nut market. By passing this bill, the state is showing that it values our farmers by ensuring consumers who buy macadamia nuts know where those macadamia nuts are coming from. This bill also supports regenerative agriculture practices, which for our macadamia nut farmers isn't just the way we farm, but it's about the way we live. Hawaii's macadamia nuts are well known for their buttery crunch and rich flavor, but what a lot of people don't know is that our macadamia nut orchards are rain-fed, preserving our precious groundwater. Also, they sequester over 2 tons per acre every year in carbon. And our orchards are also home to many endemic species which enjoy an orchard environment that is free of harmful insecticides. The only way for our farmers to invest back into our land, our soil, and our communities are through fair and healthy supply chains and marketing practices that return value back to our farms. This bill does just that. It makes sure consumers have the information necessary to make purchasing decisions that support regenerative agriculture and the production of locally grown food. If we adopt the mindset that every macadamia nut or agricultural commodity is the same, regardless of origin or how it was farmed, we encourage a race to the bottom, perpetuating an extractive form of agriculture that emphasizes margins and profits over soil health and farm worker livelihood. By enacting this piece of legislation, our state is showing their support for a regenerative agricultural economy in Hawaii. And so mahalo to our state's leaders for prioritizing and valuing our macadamia nut farmers, and we look forward to working together with you to continue the effort to sustain Hawaii's people and grow Hawaii agriculture. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Nathan. Up next, please welcome Suzanne Schreiner, President of the Kona Coffee Farmers Association.
Aloha all, aloha Governor Green, Chair Gates, Vice Chair Richards, and especially our Kona delegation of Senator Kanuha, Representative Kahaloa, and especially our bill author, Representative Lowen. I am very happy to stand with you today and with the other growers who are here for this signing. I was asked yesterday what the Kona origin means to me, and it's quite simple. It means community. For well over 100 years, our community has had jobs, income, and a way of life, thanks to coffee. In Ka'u, it flat out rescued a community that Big Sugar abandoned overnight. Now our state has over 1,400 growers, thousands of employees, downstream businesses, and even tourists who fly here to experience the romance of our state's coffees. We have a global reputation that started with Kona, but now includes awards for Ka'u and Maui cup quality, and we have a vibrant community of farmers who sell directly into the market. My small family farm, started by my parents, has customers in Taiwan, South Korea, and all over the world. And my business is not unique. Sophisticated growers sell our gourmet crop into the market, and this is standard. This bill took a long time to arrive, and I'm getting a little bit of chicken skin because I know some of you in the room know that this has been 30 years of a fight. A long time ago, growers began to discuss raising the blend ratio so that when you taste a cup of coffee that says Hawaii on the label, you are tasting a majority of Hawaiian coffee. And the headwinds have been strong, but still over time, the market changed and the world caught up to us. We experienced the third wave of gourmet coffee that came in behind Starbucks. Many of us started selling farm direct on the internet. Tourists began to arrive specifically to taste our coffees, and ultimately consumers began to demand that 100% Kona coffee, Maui, or Ka'u. And in 2017, the Hawaii Coffee Association, and President Tom Greenwell is here with us today, and the Kona Coffee Farmers Association teamed up to push for a 51% bill in a concerted effort that united the vast majority of the industry. There will always be people who disagree with this bill, but by far and wide, the industry supports it. And we were grateful for the legislatures who joined the push with us, and for Chair Sharon Hurd, who supported the growers in this process. To this day, we are still one of the only regions in the world that allows foreign beans into our coffee lands and allows our valued Hawaiian names to share the label with foreign products. There's still work to do for coffee and for all our crops. But I am very happy to say that this bill tilts the economic benefits back towards those who steward the brand and seek its best interests. Requiring 51% Hawaiian coffee in a bag is a big step forward economically for growers and for a necessary step for consumers to understand the true flavor of our coffees. Together, as growers, as legislators, and our state agencies, we can protect the valuable and unique products that bless Hawaii. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here today. Mahalo nui loa.
Mahalo, Suzanne. This truly is a historic day. We will now take a question from the media, facilitated by Makana McClellan.
Mahalo, Erica. First and only question, Mark Liddell, Hawaii Public Radio.
There have been concerns about the Department of Agriculture's ability to enforce existing labeling laws. Is there anything you can say to farmers and businesses who think they don't have to follow these laws that should raise confidence in?
Thank you for the question. It's very timely because on July 1st, Act 211 went into effect. Act 211 was a retailer bill that said if you have a geographic origin must be clear on the label, enacted on July 1st. If you say 10% Kona, you have to say where the other 90% comes from, which was never a requirement. That was enacted 2 days ago. This bill, after signing, is a different bill. It's 51%. So the confusion was they were pulling the bags off the shelf that were not 51%. No. Our inspectors, Leo is the head of the Administrative Quality Assurance. Our inspectors were clear on what they were pulling off the shelves. Not the 51, which is in effect today, but not in effect till the January 27th. Yeah, so we are very capable of enforcing. More help could be needed, but it's more education. We have to tell the public what the law is so they can comply. They can complain to us. Excuse me. By having the two bills, it kind of got overlapped, and so we can enforce. More inspectors would be great, but the public needs to help us. They have to understand. Okay?
I'll also share that we're grateful to the legislature for giving us additional resources for Department of Ag. And those positions are going to be very central, whether it's following up on labels or actually the contents of whether it's mac nuts or coffee. I mean, that's very important. We've always underfunded historically ag because there are just so many competing needs in our state. And like we've said before, if we want to have a diverse economy, we're going to have to support agriculture. And that's what Chair Gates and the whole team have done. So we're grateful to that. And I got to tell you, again, it was many years coming to build consensus. And so I just want to congratulate the legislators, but especially all the legislators from Big Island who convinced their chairs to fight all the way through the finish line on this. It was a big deal.
One more from Mark, on-topic question.
This is regarding the electronic ag forms.
Yes.
Can you describe what the process is like to implement it, and when do we expect folks to be able to receive those as an option?
Or the chair, do you want to come up and talk about that, Bill? Okay.
Thank you, Mark. The prototype, you talk about the ag form, right? Yeah, so what we're trying to do is implement it initially on a pilot, one flight, one segment per maybe a week. Eventually, we want to have it using the airplane's Wi-Fi. Is that it? So that when you're watching your movies, they can say, okay, now you can declare your, you can fill out your form on the in-flight system. And then you can say, what you have. And it's going to be pretty much pictures. So do you have the following so that you don't really have to speak our language? It'll have a lizard or a plant or snake. And then so you can fill it out on form, just, touch by touch. Right now we have a prototype. It's working pretty well. Our IT guys are here. They're nodding their heads. We don't want to give a rollout date. No. But that's how it's going to work. It's going to be on. Eventually, everyone will fill it out through their in-flight Wi-Fi system. Is that good? Okay.
Good. All right, so we're going to now move to the phase of signing bills, I think. Yes.
We'd like to formally ask that those of you legislators, key stakeholders, you can join Governor Green for the formal bill signing. Ke oluodu.
Shorter in the front.
You need to squeeze in. Come on.
Yeah.
Can we move this?